Alright, today is the finals for the bracket. I am the Alpha J of the Alpha J Show, and if you don't know, the bracket was a way to talk about Season 1 in this tournament sort of style, and check here if you want to get caught up with the bracket without being spoiled with what this video is going to be. Let's get into this though. We have these 4 pairs left for the quarterfinals. The winning 4 will go on to the semifinals, and then the final 2 will be decided all in this video. So, let's get started. Okay, so we have Pickles versus Culture Shock. Pickles has been winning so far due to its neat story of an incredible fry cook going through denial, lack of purpose, and a triumphant return. A lot of people enjoy the trial that SpongeBob had to go through to beat Bubble Bass. Culture Shock so far has been winning because it's a fun episode where we get to see a lot of characters shine in their own unique way. A lot of people seem to enjoy this episode for the skits and the way it seems so fun-loving. Ultimately, when it came down to my choice, I thought about which episode fit more with why I enjoy SpongeBob. I enjoy it because it's fun, it has a lot of memorable characters, and it doesn't take itself seriously. So that is what led into my choice. So when you look at Pickles, it has a lot of neat moments, but it was more reliant on its good story in the end. Mind you, all 8 episodes are wonderful, incredible, fantastic. So picking one at this stage is actually much harder than it looks. Culture Shock, on the other hand, started off fun and ended fun with a looser story tied around it. So when you think about what Culture Shock represents, when I think about all-time great episodes like Band Geeks, Culture Shock represents that fun, memorable characters not taking itself seriously atmosphere, which led me into picking that episode over Pickles. Walking Small versus Fun. Both of these episodes won over strong competition. Walking Small has been winning so far due to its solid take on a tried and true story, combined with the memorable scenes within it. A lot of people enjoy the insertive joke, as well as the way SpongeBob learns to be himself. Fun has been winning so far due to its amazing memorability for many people, a great song, and the emotion it captures within the story. A lot of people enjoy the dynamic between SpongeBob and Plankton, and how it blossoms from a place of good intent. So both of these episodes deal with said dynamic of SpongeBob and Plankton. Now don't get me wrong, Walking Small does it good as well, but the dynamic between SpongeBob and Plankton didn't really seem to be mutually exclusive. That entire episode could have very well been done with the throwaway antagonist and had the same effect. In fact, Chocolate with Nuts carries a lot of the same aspects as this episode. Walking Small is funnier than Fun though, which does help with what I said earlier about what I come back to SpongeBob for, and it doesn't take itself seriously, like Fun. However, when it came down to it, the emotional impact I got from Fun is unmatched versus Walking Small and the previous matchups. So I'd have to go with Fun. The characters, situations, and dynamic is too memorable to do otherwise. Reefblower versus Pizza Delivery. Reefblower so far has been winning due to its creative concept and execution, plus the story behind the episode, as well as the fact that it went up against a lot of weaker episodes in Season 1. A lot of people also enjoy the episode for what I enjoyed the episode for. It's extremely creative. Pizza Delivery has been winning so far because of its memorable story, as well as the creative lengths it went through to give us a very unique and fun journey to deliver this one pizza. A lot of people also enjoy it for the ending scene in which Squidward stands up for SpongeBob. Let's start with Pizza Delivery first. That episode had a great dynamic between SpongeBob and Squidward, which came easy in pre-movie SpongeBob. The journey to this guy's place is what many people remember, unlike the beginning scenes, as I said earlier in a previous bracket video. But with such a heartwarming ending going into a bookend, it surely did achieve memorability. However, like I said in the previous bracket video, Reefblower isn't gonna win. It's a creative short, but it isn't my favorite episode of Season 1, nor what I think would be the best of what Season 1 can offer. It does represent a more experimental side that I think the early mid-2000s offered a lot more than now. So it should be obvious that a very neat experimental episode wouldn't beat one of the best episodes of Season 1. Maybe if it were connected to a bigger story, then it could have possibly went on to the semifinals. Plankton versus Squeaky Boots. Plankton has been winning so far due to its incredible debut of the main antagonist for the episode, and show really. A lot of people enjoyed his dynamic personality, and how creative his first attempt of getting the Krabby Patty formula was. Squeaky Boots so far has been winning due to its neat story and cues from Telltale Heart. It's one of those episodes that really gets more interesting with age. Quite frankly, considering the previous matchup with Squeaky Boots was Tea at the Tree Dome, which wouldn't have won against any of the previous 6 episodes I've mentioned so far, Squeaky Boots is in the same realm of Reefblower. It only got so far because it went up against a few weaker episodes. However, I should say, out of the 4 pairs, this pair is the most evenly matched up regardless. Both episodes have a very interesting perspective on how they handle what each character does. Both have pretty weird parts, like "This is my lab," or that freak out from Mr. Krabs and Squeaky Boots. Creatively, both are pretty fresh, and I'd love to possibly do a versus with another show that has a main antagonist debut like Plankton, but if I were to pick which is better, it actually comes down to the comedy. Simply put, Plankton is a lot funnier than Squeaky Boots, both as an episode and literally. The character Plankton is better than Boots that squeak. So since comedy, memorable characters, and not taking itself seriously is what I personally get out of SpongeBob, Plankton takes the win there. Alright, so now we're down to the semifinals. We have Culture Shock, Fun, Pizza Delivery, and Plankton. Culture Shock versus Fun. Culture Shock is a great episode that has memorable characters like Fun. It's a very fun episode, and its matchup is similar to Culture Shock versus Pickles, the very first matchup in this particular bracket video, where it's a good comedic episode, Culture Shock, versus a very good story-based episode, Fun. However, I'm going to throw a curveball here, where Culture Shock won because of the fact that it stuck closer to what I think a SpongeBob episode at its core should be. Fun actually does it better than Culture Shock, one of the best comedic episodes of season 1. Fun is what I hear people talk about to this day. Fun has memorable performances from all characters, so Fun is the episode I picked to move on. Pizza Delivery versus Plankton. Pizza Delivery is a fantastic episode that honestly is one of the very few episodes that gets the credit it deserves. It's a great execution of a tried and true concept with the creativity that I attribute to other episodes like Rock Bottom and Bubble Stand. Plankton, like I said earlier, is a great debut of a great villain within the series. It's incredibly funny, and the dynamic between the two work well. In fact, one scene I enjoy very much is the initial meetup of SpongeBob and Plankton, where SpongeBob accidentally steps on Plankton and is very naive of him. It shows how Plankton, while small, gets much of his menace from his intelligence and his voice. It shows how SpongeBob is usually trusting of people around him, and sometimes does not know when he's being manipulated. This actually comes into play with Walking Small. However, between the two, I'm more likely to go back and watch Pizza Delivery. The sheer uniqueness and fun of the entire episode beats out a great debut from a main antagonist, at least in my opinion. Pizza Delivery versus Fun. Alright, so now we're down to the main pair, Pizza Delivery and Fun. Let's just take a step back and see how both episodes got here. Both episodes appeared in round 1 opposed to the pre-games, with the farthest episodes getting to this video being Reefblower and Walking Small, two episodes that did appear in the pre-games. However, both of these episodes would then go on to lose in the quarterfinals. Pizza Delivery would not go on to have a pre-games opponent, rather going up against Muscle Bob Buff Pants, winning against that episode due to simplicity, focus, and a better execution. It would then go up against Rock Bottom, to which that was a very close battle, where ultimately I found the heartwarming ending to be better than Rock Bottom's ending, considering both episodes took a free-form creative structure rather than a strict story. It would win against Reefblower because, as a creative small experimental episode, it was bound to lose to one of the all-time great pre-movie episodes. Then it won against Plankton, due to being a great and unique take on a tried and true concept. Compare this to Fun, which actually did have a pre-games winner to face, Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost, which won against Fools in April in the pre-games. It would easily beat that episode, due to subjectively being on the weaker side of what is a good season. We're essentially at this point comparing an A+ and a B when it comes to a lot of these episodes. It would then go on to go one-on-one with Jellyfish Jam, which is actually a really good episode. I would even go on to say within the last video that I think Jellyfish Jam is one of the best episodes in the preseason. It's just that it went up against another really good episode, which is unfortunate. Fun would win due to its memorability, which would be one of the reasons it would then go on to beat Walking Small, the other episode that has been winning since pre-games. Then it won against Culture Shock in an honestly hard pick. So which episode should win the season 1 bracket? Well, season 1 to me represented a lot of experiments and just overall having fun. It represented that this sponge is very fun-loving, trusting, and able to make you feel a lot of different emotions. It's very funny, and it comes from a team that loves animation, so with a lot of thinking, I have to give it to Fun. If I were to show someone who never watched SpongeBob before an episode, it'd be Fun because it establishes so much. You have the mistrust, the fast-paced action, the crazy townfolk, the rivalry between Krabs and Plankton, the side characters that make their way into episodes sometimes, the neat songs, as well as everything else that I couldn't possibly name. All of these things make SpongeBob, well, SpongeBob. And that's my choice personally. So now that the bracket is over, what would you guys pick to win? Let me know in the comments down below. Special thanks to the patrons of September, and as always, I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care. Alpha out.